Hello friends, I am Miss Karen at Adams Memorial Library. Thank you for joining me for January's Bake-A-Tale. So for January we are making pear and ricotta pancakes. Actually, full disclosure, mine are actually pear and cottage cheese pancakes because I didn't have any ricotta. So you can do whatever you want. You could make them with ricotta cheese if you have it. You can make them with cottage cheese. You can make them with cream cheese. You could probably even use Greek yogurt if you want to substitute that. Each way, they will come out a little bit differently, but as long as you have the pear, you're going to be set to make these pancakes. So Bake-A-Tale is the program where we talk about something to make and books to go with it and a couple of art projects that kind of fit the theme too. So there are pears for the crafts this time too. This is a pear Suncatcher, and this is just, isn't it cute? It's a happy little pear. And you can make it a magnet if you'd like, or you could make it into, you could just use it as a bookmark. You could hang it up. You can do whatever you want with your cheerful little pear, but it's just something to, you know, sometimes we need a little cheering up in January, something to brighten your day. And the books this time, the recipe itself actually came from a book. It came from this book called What's Cooking in Flowerville? Recipes from Balconies, Rooftops, and Gardens by Felicita Sala. And the recipe is actually from September in the book because each month there's a recipe for something that you can make with something that would be growing at that time. But you know, we can still find pears in January too, so that's where this recipe came from. So there'll be a copy of this in the kit. And if you're able to come in and get the kit in the children's room, you can come in and get it that way. If you would like to call the library and have us reserve kits for you and pick them up through curbside service, you can do it that way. And if you're not able to come in and get the kit, you can always email us at kids@adamslib.org, and then you can just email, and I'd be happy to send you the recipe and the instructions for the crafts that way. So either way, and wherever you are, you might want to look for these books. We'll have them at the library, so you can come into the children's room and get them, or you can always reserve them. But the books for this month's Bake-A-Tale are Orange, Pear, Apple, Bear by Emily Gravitt. This one's called Are We Pears Yet? This was written by Miranda Paul and illustrated by Karen Berger. And this one seemed appropriate because it was about pancakes, so it's called Pancakes for Supper. It was written by Ann Isaacs and illustrated by Mark Teague. Now in Orange, Pear, Apple, Bear, those are the only words in this story. So it's easy to read, but the fun of this is seeing how you can combine those words. So there's orange, pear, apple, and bear. But maybe you could have an orange pear and an apple bear. Maybe you could have an apple, an orange, and a pear bear. You don't know. So if you take this book out from the library, it's a fun and funny and quick read. You can see what happens to the orange, the pear, the apple, and the bear. Now this one, you can see these pears here. You see the curtains and the stage. This book is set up like it's a play. And it starts out with the title, Are We Pears Yet? And here are singing and dancing seeds. And the bigger seed says, we are going to be pears. And the smaller one says, hooray, I love pears. Are we pears yet? Are we pears yet? Are we pears yet? Well, guess what? It takes a long time for a seed to turn into a pear. When you read this book, you can find out how long, and you can see, is the little seed going to make it until they finally become pears. Now in Pancakes for Supper, this girl is Toby, and Toby and her family are traveling. They're moving to a new place, and Toby's very excited about it. And so she's singing along as They travel on the wagon, but then the wagon hits a big bump and whoa, Toby goes flying up into the air. So high in the air above where the eagles are flying. She's afraid she's never going to come back down. But when she does come down, she lands in some snow, which is good because she didn't get hurt, but the snowbank was right next to a hungry wolf, and that is not so good. Because the wolf said, hungry, so hungry am I will feast on the child who fell from the sky. Oh no. Is Toby going to get eaten by a wolf? No, because Toby is a quick thinker and very clever. She said, don't eat me. I could make you the grandest animal in the forest. And he says, what? A little girl like you, how are you going to do that? She says, I will give you my beautiful blue coat. And the wolf does like the blue coat. Feels pretty snazzy in that. So she gets away from the wolf, but then, more animals are coming who want to eat her. Oh my goodness. Can she pull that trick again? Is she going to have enough clothes? What's going to happen? And where do the pancakes come in? Well, if you check this book out from the library, you can find out. And I think pancakes are always good for supper. I like pancakes anytime. So you could have pear and ricotta pancakes for supper if you wanted to. And you could have them, if you would like, with honey. You could have them with maple syrup, if you'd like. You could put extra pears on. But to make the recipe, you'll grate up some pears. And I don't know if you can see, I didn't even peel mine because I am kind of lazy. So I just left the peels on. So I made it a little bit lumpy, and you can see, maybe you can see this way better. You can see the specks from, it was a red pear, so you can see the red pear skin, the gratings from that a little bit, but it was fine with me. I think it looks more colorful. I don't have a griddle at home. I just made these in a pan. So if you had a griddle that you could put it on, it would probably, they would brown probably a little better, but they're easy to make. And if you like pancakes, you might like them having some pear in them. And the cheese would just make them, a little creamier, a little smoother. So you can follow this recipe. And remember, when you are doing something, it's more fun to bake with a friend. So an adult needs to be nearby because, you do need to grate the pear on the grater, which might be sharp, and you need to cook them on a stove or on a hot griddle. So you can make pear and ricotta, or pear and whatever kind of cheese you have, or yogurt pancakes, and then maybe you can have them for supper. For the pear Suncatcher, there will be some translucent paper, which means, it lets the light through a little bit, which makes it good for sun catchers because then you can put this on a window and it'll let the light through and it'll maybe give you kind of a stained glass effect. But there will be translucent paper. There will be a template that looks like this. This craft is based on one from Craft Ideas. And if you would like to do yours like I did and have the black on both sides, you will need to cut out both of these. And the reason they're flipped is because when you put them together, you want the leaves to match. If they're not flipped, then one leaf's going to be going one way and one leaf will be going the other way, and they won't fit together like this. So if you would like to do both, you need to cut this out around the outside, but you also need to cut out the inside, which is a little tricky. You might need some help for that part, but it might work to bend the paper like this, cut a snip, and then try to go from there to cut out the inside. Try not to cut through the black outline, but if you do, you can tape it together. I think tape will solve most of your craft problems. So try to cut it out as carefully as you can and try to leave as much of the black outline as you can too. Then there will be a larger piece of paper in your kit. It's probably going to be yellow or green, not purple, but once you have your outline, the paper, you might have to wiggle it around a little bit, but you should be able to put the outline, the black outline of the pear on this paper, and then you can use the double-sided tape that will be in your kit. It's wrapped around a playing card and it's covered in wax paper. So when you think, what is this? It is because it's sticky on both sides. And so that's why it'll peel off the plastic card, and the wax paper will peel off, so it won't stick to anything else in your kit until you're ready to use it. It will stick to itself, but you can just unroll it from the playing card, cut little pieces, and use that to attach the template to the paper. So the part where the template is going to be the outside. And as I said, if you want to put it on both sides, you can. If you don't want to, that's okay. You can just have it on one side. So you would attach the paper to the back and wiggle it around so it will all fit. And you're going to attach it with little pieces of the double-sided tape. Once you've done that, if the tape is pointing out this way, you can cut pieces of the smaller pieces of the smaller translucent paper and attach that on. I just did an abstract design for mine. If you want to put on a face or do something else, you can do whatever you want. So you'll just cut some more little pieces and use a double-sided tape to tape that onto the body of the pear and the leaf of the pear. And you can just keep layering it to get different color effects. You can put it on both sides if you would like. And then once you've decided if you want to have the other black side on too, then you can use more of the double-sided tape. Carefully tape that one on also. It's a little tricky to get it lined up, so if you feel like you don't want to bother to put both pieces on, it is fine. This is your craft. You can do it however you would like. Once you've got everything arranged the way you'd like, once you have it connected with the double-sided tape and you have all your little pieces of paper on, if there's still pieces of double-sided tape sticking up, you can put more paper on top. If the pieces are of paper sticking up a little bit, you can put regular one-sided tape on and sort of tape everything down. If you need to put a little tape, I put a little tape around the edges of mine to make sure they didn't come apart. So you can use any combination you'd like of double-sided or single-sided tape. And once you've finished all of that, you can hang it up on a window and, just cheer you up a little bit. Brighten up your house, brighten up your room, brighten up your day. The other craft I think is also kind of cheerful. I mean, it's called a Happy Pear Craft, and this one is from Craft Train. So there will be a template. Here it is. There will be a template for that. Oh, it's a little bit hard to see, but there'll be a template with the shapes on it. And there will be a piece of green felt. Now, once you cut out all the pieces, there's the pear, leaf, a stem, and some pieces that could be eyes. They could be rosy cheeks, if you would like, or a mouth. You'll cut out all the template pieces, and then you can trace around the template on your felt. If you trace with a pencil around, you should still be able to see the line. I mean, if you don't need to trace the line, if you can just hold it and cut around it, you can do that. I personally needed to trace around the line, so you can do it whatever's easiest for you. But if you're careful about how you arrange this on this green felt, you will probably be able to get two pairs from this, if you would like. If you put it right in the middle, you're probably only going to get one pair. But if you wiggle it around a little bit, you can see maybe you can get two. So you'll cut out the green pear shape, and then you can decide what colors. There'll be some other smaller pieces of felt. You can decide what colors you would like to use. You can give it a green leaf if you'd like. I gave mine a red leaf just to be colorful. And little purple eyes and mouth and cheeks. And if you would like, so you'll cut out these pieces to rearrange them a little bit. And then once you've decided where you would like them to go, you can get out the glue that's in your kit. It's in a little plastic container, and there's 3 cotton swabs in there. You can use those to put the glue down if you'd like. You can use your finger if you want to just do it that way. If you have a paintbrush at home, you can put the glue on like that. But wherever you put the glue, wherever you want your things to be, put the glue on. You might have to press it down a little bit. Once it's all dried, there will be a magnet in your kit. So if you would like to turn your pear into a magnet, put it on something metal, you can do that. If you would like to use it as a bookmark, you could do that. You can just put it in your book once the glue is dry. If you wanted to put some kind of loop on the top, you could do that. You could just hang it that way. And the original kit, they used the original craft on Craft Train, they used 2 pieces of green felt to make a front and a back, and they sewed there. So if you would like to sew it and make it into an ornament that way, you are welcome to try that too. And if you do, I would love to see how it turned out. So, please take a picture and show me, bring it in and show me. I'd love to see it. Or I'd love to see it however you decide to decorate your Suncatcher and your felt pear. Please bring them in. Let me know how your pancakes turn out. If you have them for breakfast, if you have them for supper. Whatever you do, I hope you will enjoy this month's kit. As I said, you can come into the library and pick it up. You can come down to the children's room and we'll have them there as long as supplies last. So thank you very much for watching, friends, and I will see you next month with another Bake-A-Tale when we'll bake something else and do a couple more crafts and hear about some books too. So thank you very much. Bye.